Hey everybody, Maddie here with Altcoin Buzz. Happy Hump Day. Hope you're having a great week so far. We're going to get a little bit philosophical and perhaps slightly abstract today, but we'll start with a question. Have you ever thought to yourself, well, if countries and governments can print their own money, if they can literally make more of their own money, then why exactly do they need to collect taxes in the first place? It's a simple question. Why do the governments of the world need to take taxes from its people if they can simply create more money out of thin air? Let's take a look at what's been happening in these last 24 to 48 hours. In that time span, the IMF has printed $1 trillion, America $700 billion, China $100 billion, Italy $27 billion, India $13.5, South Korea $9 billion, Austria $4 billion, Australia $5.4 billion, and England is going to print $74 billion, while Japan has doubled their printing. Let me now answer that question we just considered a moment ago. The reason governments collect taxes is because that is the reason why its currency has value. Tax collection is the primary use case of any currency, and it is literally backed by the work you do. I could print however many dollars of whatever denomination I could want. I could create a currency today or tomorrow. It would mean nothing. It has no value. It's not backed by any labor. So I hope you're following me here. When we say dollars are not backed by anything, which were earlier backed by gold, but not anymore, is false. Dollar value is backed by the proof of your work. Your work, you get money for your work, and you give a part of that money in taxes to giving the currency value, backed by the work that you have done, or in turn, that we have collectively done. With that in mind, let's switch gears now and consider inflation for just a moment, or in other words, a tax on the currency that you hold, which is effectively making you poorer and poorer every year, all else being equal. When the governments print more money, it reduces the value of the work you do because there is a lot more of the currency available in which you pay your taxes, thereby diluting its actual value. Every dollar printed is essentially making you poorer by simply reducing the value of the work that you do. And as far as all this new money that's being printed, where exactly does it go? It goes in saving companies that have failed or business models. This money goes into filling the pockets of those who are part of the world that don't want to fix their businesses. Most of the businesses are always in trouble simply because of the way they run the businesses and then ask for a bailout because it is the government's job to help them. And the governments do it by diluting your hard-earned money. Many businesses and industries like banks, airlines, postal services, and many more are always in dire need of bailouts simply because it is so easy for them to make money from the government without fixing the core issues within their own systems. In tomorrow's video, we're going to be discussing why Bitcoin's structure is special and why the proof of mining algorithm gives Bitcoin value that the other global currencies simply don't have. Now, looking at the numbers here, I think it's pretty clear that the market has lost a lot of confidence, and the circumstances surrounding the global economy have made Bitcoin a rather risky asset. For now, at least that's the way most people would view it. Institutions sell their riskiest investments in such a collapse, and that is why first Bitcoin and then stocks fell, then silver, and then gold. Bitcoin not being able to hold its value to even around the cost of mining is a strong indicator of the immaturity of this space and the untested nature of Bitcoin in such circumstances. Yes, it was designed to be a safe haven. It was designed to be a hedge and to offer protection in times of economic uncertainty, but it looks like its maturity level is just not there yet. It has failed this most recent test. However, that being said, I've been studying all the fundamentals of Bitcoin very closely these last few days, and I think it will come out as an extremely resilient asset class after all this carnage and after all the dust settles. Can we expect to see a Bitcoin below $5,000? It could be possible, as there is a chance the global markets might see a further dip. Uncertainty between US and China right now is a factor that ought to be considered. There's also oil wars in the East and businesses being affected, of course, by the coronavirus and the panic and loss of jobs. All of that combined is making people move to cash. It is a time of great uncertainty and probably panic as well. Panic and the projection of uncertainty into the future for weeks or even months to come is also factoring into people's decision making. Now, none of the following is financial advice, but with all of this being said, now may be a great time to start buying Bitcoin because halving, after all, is just around the corner. And although we have raised our concerns about mining operations being in trouble after doing a little bit of research, it seems like the miners are actually in the space. They're actually the real survivors in this particular space, and they are sticking to their guns. It seems like they have a lot of support to continue to keep the network strong. And to tell you the truth, a $20,000 Bitcoin buy order will start moving things in the right direction. I think it's going to accelerate very quickly once we get moving. So while keeping these ideas in mind and mitigating for whatever panic exists out there, it is safe to say that the worst is perhaps at least potentially over, and life in many places affected by the virus is starting to return to normal. I know that's a bold statement. I know depending on where you are in the world, things can look pretty grim right now. Things can look pretty bleak. But at least in some locations, some of these extreme measures that are being taken are starting to flatten that curve, as they say, and at a certain point, things will start returning to normal. It will happen for you as well, and the panic will pass and the isolation period will end. And a lot of people, of course, have been dealing with the coronavirus. It's affected, no doubt, many of you all out there in the altcoin buzz army. However, with strict measures such as those imposed in Singapore, things in certain places are starting to get back to normal. Italy's average age is 47 years. Hence, the virus has the most impact there in Europe. It's also the population with the highest percentage of elderly. And remember, it's not the virus that's impacting or attacking the economy. The panic is doing that. But soon the panic will be over, and soon the news cycles will turn bullish. We live in this world where news, or even perceived or fake news, has seemingly more of an impact on our lives than actual products and actual reality and actual going-ons. It's funny that way, and I've been using the expression more and more lately, but sometimes it's very much the case that the tail wags the dog. In such cases, we need to focus on facts and see where the news is headed to make predictions on investments. You don't look at where the hockey puck is, you look at where the hockey puck is going. Insert any sports analogy or any ball, and you guys get the idea on that one. Seeing the situation and looking at all the places where panic hit before, things, at least in some places, are starting to come down, and this is going to happen around you and around the world as well. Hang in there. Let's now end on a little bit of levity at altcoinbuzz.io. Wait, guys, don't fight over toilet paper, linking back to the beginning of the video, because your government is printing a whole lot of it. Trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars worth. And also, let's end on some good news here. @Bakkt is tweeting the following: we're reducing payment costs for merchants, improving their bottom line. Open your Starbucks app account settings to see our first direct integration and select Bakkt Cash under payment to sign up for the Bakkt Early Access program. Well, that's excellent. It looks like more bullish news in the form of Starbucks, which is about to accept Bitcoin. Stay tuned. We'll have more for that, no doubt, very soon in the days and weeks ahead. That about wraps it up for today, everybody. Do be sure you're following us on all the regular social media channels and keep checking back into altcoinbuzz.io for all the latest. Go ahead, like, subscribe, share, and hit the bell to receive notifications if you've enjoyed today's video. Best of luck if you choose to invest on this hump day. Best of luck if you choose to enter our contest. We're giving away another CryptoTag Zeus starter kit this coming Saturday. To be eligible for that prize, you got to make sure you're subscribed to Altcoin Buzz on YouTube. You got to like our videos and you got to comment on our videos. Stay safe out there, guys. Remember, eventually the storm will pass. And as always, we do hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.
Little trouble there. Let's pick it up at 17. Not quite my tempo. Here we go. 5, 6, and. Downbeat on 18. Bar 17, the and of 4. Got it? 5, 6, 7.